Right, I think I'm live, and maybe I am. It's Friday the 5th. It is 7 o'clock in the evening. It's just gone 7 o'clock, or it's just about to go 7 o'clock. My name's Nick, and I do regular quizzes in rugby. Rugby pubs normally on a Sunday night, and I've been doing a regular quiz nights Sunday and Wednesday every week since lockdown started last March. So nearly a year's worth of quizzes we've been doing. My normal quizzes normally start, they're general knowledge quizzes, they start at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night and 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. So if you want to come and join us at any time, you're more than welcome. Anyway, tonight's quiz is specifically targeted as a sports quiz, and it's on behalf of the Rugby Borough Football Club. So let's hope we get plenty of those people taking part tonight. We will see. Now then, we have 6 rounds tonight of just general knowledge, which is pretty straightforward. Just general knowledge on something to do with sports or sports themes running throughout it. And round number 1 tonight will just be entitled Sports Quiz, where we take the initial letters of each of those, the word Sports Quiz, and they are going to be the initial letters of the first 10 answers. Round number 2 tonight is going to be called Sport on Screen, something to do with sports either on the big screen or your TVs. Round number 3 is an alphabetical round, where each of the answers is in alphabetical order, which makes them nice and straightforward. Round number 4 is just some general sports trivia. Round number 5 tonight is entitled an initial letter link, which I'll explain when we get there. And round number 6 is just general trivia. Now then, for all you that haven't done a quiz on YouTube before, basically all of you have to log in, obviously, to see me and to listen to the questions. My daughter, who is a moderator of all my quizzes, will be putting all the questions in the right-hand chat column. Now, you should have on the right-hand side of your screen somewhere, if you're on a tablet or on a laptop or indeed on a TV, you should be able to get live chat on the right-hand column, because it's the only way we're going to get people to post their scores tonight. And you'll be pleased to know you can keep your own scores tonight. Obviously, we don't want any cheating. So you're going to have to all be as fair as you can with each other. So that's up to you, of course. Yes, my daughter Lydia, there she's just posted evening all to everybody. So do get used during the quiz to chat to each other. I can see Anna has already put on a couple of posts, so she can't be the only ones there. But here we are. Sim77, he's saying hello. Pick and Mix have joined us. Pick and Mix, I like a good sports quiz. So good evening, Pick and Mix. That's the way to do it. So just keep posting your names in the right-hand chat column. Do enable live chat. Is it top chat we need or live chat? I can't remember. It's live chat you need to enable. There's 2 sessions, live chat and top chat, and you will find you will get all of the information if you just enable live chat. So as round 1, as I ask the questions, Lydia will post the question in the right-hand column as we go. After the first 10 questions, because they're all of them 10 answer rounds, we will do some marking after each round, and then each team can just give me their total score as we go. Now, you'll be surprised to know Stephen's just joined us. Good evening, Stephen. Hope all is well with you. Keeping well? Great. We've had a bit of an interesting day today. Now, if you see me flagging halfway through the quiz, it could be because of this. On the other hand, it could be because I've had my vaccination today. Yes, I am that old. I know I don't look it, but yes, I am that old. We went over today to Stoneleigh, and it was stone freezing cold, that's for sure. And we had our vaccinations, both me and the wife. So if I suddenly keel over halfway through, I've had people giving us all sorts of baloney basically today, telling us how it's going to affect us, So I haven't found it's affecting me yet. Well, I don't think so anyway. So it might do in a bit, but we'll see. Right, Stephen's just joined us. Pick and Mix it here, and we've got Sim77. Jed and Tracy have just joined us. Good evening, Jed, Tracy. Hoping all is well with you. Checking in would be a disaster, but looking forward to it. Well, we'll see. You know how you like a good sports quiz. It is just general knowledge stuff. There's nothing too testing in there. I haven't asked to do the, the Ghanaian player who played in the 1936 World Cup final in wherever it was. I haven't asked anything like that, but we'll see. Michelle's just joined us. Good evening, Michelle. Hope all is well with you. So we've got Michelle Gibbons with James and Charlie, full team tonight. And I'm hopeful that Charlie is going to be very helpful tonight with this sports quiz. 21 questions, everything from cheese rolling through to attempts at parachuting attempts or whatever else. There's going to be plenty. Now, if you like the quizzes, there is a little like button, of course, which you can hit throughout the quiz, which I like to see. And of course, if you like doing regular quizzing and you want to come and join us on other nights, because as I say, we broadcast on a Wednesday and on a Sunday, just hit the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel, and you can log in on a Wednesday and Sunday night without any problem at all. Right, Adam's just joined us. Adam Foster, good evening, Adam. He says, "Side Nick and Lydia, spoon and fish, giving this sports stuff a whirl." That's what I like to hear. Great to see you, Adam. Hope all is well with you. Now then, you'll be pleased to know, unlike most quizzes, the Rugby Borough Football Club quiz tonight, basically they've put up 3 decent prizes. We have, first prize tonight is going to be a £50 Tesco's voucher, which is nothing to be sniffed at all. Second place tonight is going to be a £30 Tesco's voucher, and our third prize is a local fish and chip supper. I'm sorry if obviously one or two teams are a little bit further away. I'm sure we can't really sort you out with fish and chips up in sunny Burton upon Trent, but never mind, I'm sure we can try our hardest to get a prize too. And we're also running a bit of a raffle, which will go on your team names, so do make sure you put your team names or your own personal name in the chat column, and we will draw just a random name for a raffle prize at the end of the quiz tonight. So that's pretty straightforward, I think. Now then, we will go live with a quiz at 7:15 with round 1. Now, round 1 tonight is entitled Sports Quiz. Sports Quiz. So you need to write down the initial letters of Sports Quiz, which is an SPORTSQUIZ, just in case you couldn't spell it. And they are going to be the initial letters of the first 10 answers. The first 10 answers will start with the initial letters of the word Sports Quiz. Right, Michelle's just saying our team name is 3G tonight. Is that all we can get out in cricket, I suppose, isn't it? We're probably not going to get much tonight. No. Natalie's just saying hi. Hi, Natalie. Hope all is well with you. Hi, it's Amber. Ah, right, Amber. Is that Natalie or Amber? Right, you'll have to let me know. But it's great to see you. Thanks for coming and joining us. As I'd mentioned, we've got some pretty straightforward general knowledge questions tonight for you to keep you going. Stephen Hill, our team name is TSIM. Right. Well, you need to get that really, Stephen. You've put it, obviously the team name is under your, well, you'll have to put it in as you type the answers to the round. Bit tricky, but that's fine. Fine for the round. Yeah, that'll be fine for the round. Yeah, we'll just write the names down. It's easier, I have to say, but never mind. Yes, you see some of the teams actually have put their name down as the team name, if that makes any sense, because it comes up in the chat with your name. You can make that your team name if you want to. That's fair enough. Right, round number 2 tonight is entitled Sports on Screen. So it's something to do. There's 3 gibbons. 3 Gs, that's fair enough. Round number 2 is entitled Sport on Screen. So something to do with the big screen, films and or indeed television things which have got some kind of sporting connection. Round number 3 tonight is an alphabetical round. Basically start with the letter A, your first answer. Second answer will start with the letter B and so on and so forth. Round number 4 tonight is a general sports trivia round, which is just general arbitrary sports, you'll be pleased to know. Round number 5 is entitled an initial letter link, where we take the initial letters of the first 9 answers, and then question number 10, I ask you to rearrange the first letters to spell out something or other, which we'll get to when we get there. And finally, round number 6, which will always sort a few teams out, is just some general trivia to keep you all going, so to speak. Now, don't be afraid to post a joke or any comments in the column you like. Quite happy for you to put as much drivel in as you like. This quiz is designed for kids as well as adults, of course. So hopefully, I feel we've got all the family together to do the quiz together. There are some silly questions in there as well as pretty straightforward questions, but never mind. So hopefully you'll all be looking forward to winning tonight, because as I said earlier, there are some very good prizes up tonight, including a £50 first prize donated I don't know who it's donated to actually, but never mind. It's a £50 Tesco shopping voucher, so it'd be great to for somebody to win that. Now then, at the moment, we've got 25 teams or 25 people currently watching. So Family C, says Natalie. Oh, Family C have joined us. Oh, fantastic. That's a good name for a team. Family C, Family Colleges, presumably. Right then, I don't know what everybody else has been doing today, but as I say, we've been driving around the countryside from Rugby. We went over to Stoneleigh, where we had our first dose of the vaccine today, and hopefully it's not going to kill me off before the end of the quiz. I'm feeling fine. I haven't had any reaction yet, but the arm is beginning to feel a little sore, so maybe just maybe tonight it'll start throbbing a bit, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I can't see any problems whatsoever. Right, just 5 minutes to go, and then we'll get on with the quiz tonight. Georgia's just joined us, so Georgia's and Rory. Good evening, Georgia. Hope all is well with you and Rory, keeping well. They're our friends from up in York, so it's great to see Georgia and Rory taking part tonight. There's a good chance of winning a prize tonight as well, Georgia. As I mentioned earlier, we have 3 main prizes tonight, 2 of which you can win, one which is going to be a bit tricky. I'm not quite sure how we get fish and chips up to York, but never mind. Probably make a telephone call, I suppose. But first 2 prizes tonight are a £50 shopping voucher with Tesco's and a £30 shopping voucher with Tesco's. So pretty straightforward, I think. Now then, this tonight's quiz really is all to try and keep Rugby Borough Football Club going a bit. Certainly the parents and the families that support it and keep it going throughout the season. It's been obviously dreadful the last 12 months. It's been very awkward for them all. In lockdown, and a lot of them probably haven't seen each other for quite a while, I suppose. Or don't know how they keep in contact, but the idea of the quiz tonight was just to try and keep them all in contact a little bit more. So it's great to see so many people taking part on the quiz tonight. Now, as I said earlier, if you like quizzing at all, do come and join us on a Sunday. Sunday night quizzes are regular things. Normally we have 80 to 90 people now taking part on a Sunday night. Very competitive with some very good quizzing teams, I have to say. But it keeps the old grey cells going and stops us all going mad in these dreadful times. But there is some good news ahead now. Hopefully we can get the pubs back open. I myself co-own 2 pubs in Rugby, and it'd be great if we can get them both back up and running by the time we get through to May, June time, which is what we're targeting for, I think. So that should be good fun. He said knowingly. Whether how hard a work it's going to be, I don't know, but never mind. Right, I will just run through the rounds just once more for you. I'm sure you've all written them down okay, but for everybody that's joined us a little bit later, round number 1 tonight is just entitled Sports Quiz. Round number 2 tonight is Sport on Screen, something to do with films or television. Round number 3 tonight is an alphabetical round, where I give you basically all the answers are in alphabetical order, starting with the letter A. So it's pretty straightforward: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You get the idea. Question number 4 is a general sports trivia. Round number 5 is an initial letter link. Now, initial letter links, basically you take the first letter of each of your answers. And when we get to question number 10, it asks you to rearrange those letters to spell out a 9-letter word. So we'll see how you can fare with that. The beauty of those types of rounds is you can try and work them out backwards, of course, once you know all the letters. And then finally, we have a general trivia round to keep you all going. Right then, do make sure all of you have got drinks to hand. Any nibbles you might want around the television or around the iPad or around the however else you're watching. Do feel free to get involved with the chat, put some comments in, whatever you want to put down there, just to make sure it's working for you when we get round to doing some marking, because I can see how many people are taking part at the moment. And I think everybody's got a very good chance of coming away possibly with a prize tonight. So let's see how we can all fare in this quiz. Now then, as I mentioned, Lydia is the moderator tonight, and I will ask Lydia in a minute to... when I start asking the questions, she will type them in the chat column for you to all look at. I'll repeat each of the questions twice, and by the time we get to the end of round one, I expect you then just to type in your total scores as you've marked them yourselves. So let's hope that we've got everybody being nice and honest tonight, and we'll see how it goes. He said, no, I don't want everybody scoring full points every round. Surely not. Although it is possible, obviously, tonight, because I've made it dead easy for you all. So let's hope we can. Right, then we have, it is now 9:15. Oh, sorry, it's not 9:15, it's 19:15. So it's time to crack on. So eyes down, look in. Let's start off with question number one. This starts, as I mentioned, we use the initial letters of the words sports quiz. So answer number one starts with the letter S, which will help you a lot with this one. Question number one, which middle distance runner won 4 Olympic medals, including the 1500 meters gold medal at the Olympic Games in both 1980 and 1984? Or you feel free, Penny. You stick your own scores in. Depends how you feel. It depends. There's some good prizes up for grabs tonight, Penny, so don't you back off. You're more than welcome. Question one again. Which middle distance runner won 4 Olympic medals, including the 1500 meters gold medal at the Olympic Games in both 1980 and 1984? Now, don't stick that down in the chat. You need to write that down on a bit of paper, and don't want to embarrass myself. That one starts with an S, middle distance runner, very famous. Come on, Penny, you'll get that one. Now, question number two. This is probably one of the hardest questions in the whole of the quiz tonight, you'll be pleased to know. So get it out of the way after number two. The Basque country won a gold medal playing its national sport at the 1900 Games in Paris. It must be noted, however, that they did not have to play any other matches, as no other countries took part. But what is the Basque country's national game? So the Basque country won a gold medal playing its national sport at the 1900 Games in Paris. It must be noted, however, they didn't have to play against it, they were playing against themselves. Anyway, that's by the by. What is the Basque country's national game? It's a one-word answer starting with the letter P, as in pew, so to speak. Question number three. This is for all you people that like doing quizzes. What colour was originally used to denote the sports and leisure category in the board game Trivial Pursuit? So what colour was originally used to denote the sports and leisure category in the board game of Trivial Pursuit? And of course, that has got to start with the letter O, which makes that pretty straightforward. Question number four, starting with the letter R. A touring Australian team won gold at the 1908 Games in London with the battle cry, "Cripple every opponent." What sport might that have been? I still try crippling every opponent. So a touring Australian team won gold at the 1908 Games in London with the battle cry, "Cripple every opponent." What sport might they have been playing? Not too tricky so far, I'm sure. Yeah, the wife's joining in now. She said she couldn't do it. Now all of a sudden she is. Yes, right. Question number 5. There's only possibly few possible answers for this one. In the annual university boat race held on the River Thames, how many bridges do the teams pass underneath during the race? No bonus points for asking them, I have to say. But in the annual university boat race held on the River Thames, how many bridges did the teams pass underneath during the race? Yeah, Jackie skips. Yeah, I'd love to join him, but I'm rubbish as well. Sorry. Question number 6, starting with the letter S. This is a 2-word answer because it's somebody's name. Which English television presenter and former professional tennis player won the 1976 French Open? She's currently on the BBC every week. Well, one night a week anyway. So which English TV presenter and former professional tennis player won the 1976 French Open? If it's any help, she does appear every week on the BBC. Question number 7. There's one more for the kids, but I'm sure all you grown-ups will get this straight away. What is the fictional sport played in the Harry Potter novels and films? So what is the fictional sport played in the Harry Potter novels and films? Do you remember that's got to start with the letter Q, of course? Do you remember we're paying points for prizes tonight? Points for prizes. £50 first place prize tonight for somebody. Question number 8. Established in 1920 in Cheadle, near Manchester, what is a major English sportswear and football equipment supplier? Again, that can't be too tough. It starts with the letter U. So, established in 1920 in Cheadle, near Manchester, what is a major English sportswear and football equipment supplier? And remember, that starts with the letter U. That rules out 1 or 2, doesn't it? Right, we've only got an I and a Z left in this round, so you'll be pleased to know. Question number 9, starting with the letter I. In 2011, a Formula One race was held in which country for the first time? It was subsequently won by Germany's Sebastian Vettel. So question 9, in 2011, a Formula One race was held in which country for the first time? It was subsequently won by Germany's Sebastian Vettel. And finally, question number 10, I shouldn't have to tell you, starts with the letter Z. Which characters, voiced by Dustin Hoffman and Whoopi Goldberg, amongst others, with characters voiced by Dustin Hoffman and Whoopi Goldberg, amongst others, Racing Stripes is a 2005 film that is centered around what type of animals? Well, animal actually, but never mind. So with characters voiced by Dustin Hoffman and Whoopi Goldberg, amongst others, Racing Stripes is a 2005 film which is centered around what type of animal? Bit daft that one, but never mind. I'll have to listen to first round. Now then, you should have 10 answers written on your sheet. So what I'll do now, we'll go back to number 1 and I'll give you the answers to the first round. And then I'll ask every single one of you or teams to just put your scores in the right-hand column. Do remember the points for prizes tonight. And as we go through the quiz, I ask you to just sum your scores for each round so that we have a running total after each round. So then, round number 1, we started off that famous sportsman, the middle distance runner, of course, was Sebastian Coe. Sebastian Coe, nice easy one there. Question number 2, the Basque Country's national game is called pelota. Pelota, well done if you got that. That was a bit tricky. Number 3, of course, was orange, the sports and leisure category in Trivia Pursuit. Number 4, cripple every opponent was the war cry of the rugby team from Australia. Number 5, the university boat race goes under 2 bridges. It goes under Hammersmith Bridge and Barnes Bridge, the railway bridge. Number 6 was Sue Barker. She's on the telly every week doing Question of Sport. Number 7, of course, that fictional sports game is Quidditch. Number 8, that Manchester supplier of football equipment is Borough. Number 9, the Formula 1 race that was held in the country for the first time. That was India. I think it was in New Delhi, I think just outside New Delhi. And finally, number 10, the character I wanted was a zebra. A zebra I was after, of course, in Racing Stripes. Little zebra that thought he was a pony. Right then, everybody. Now I'd like you to, in the right-hand column in the chat, Natalie and the family, we've got 7 out of 10, says Natalie. So they're off to a good start. So, well, Team Collins are off to a good start with 7 out of 10. Right, Jen and Tracy are on 10. We've got Georgie Lambert and the Yorkers there on 9. Footy Fox 86 is on 8. Well played, Footy Fox 86. Who else have we got scores in? Michelle's on with a 10. We've got Spoon and Fish in with a 10. Sim M77's on a 7. Angie Pugh's on with an 8. Stephen Hill says Team TSIM is on 6. Pick a Mixer on 9. Have we got any more scores to come in? Do remember we've got good prices up for grabs tonight. So more teams have put their Penny, where's yours? Come on, let's get it up there. No mucking about. I'm sure you must have scored more than 5, at least, surely. No matter. Now, do remember yes, Penny got a 6. Well done, Penny. There we have it, you see. So the more people that take part, the more chance you've got of winning, of course. So with an early lead, it looks like Spoon and Fish, Michelle, Charlie, and James on a fantastic 10. We've got Jed and Tracy on a 10, and then we've got a number of teams on 9s. Anne Williams is on 9 out of 10. It's a good start. And Pick a Mixer on a 9. I expect probably that Pallotta that just caught you out with that first round, but never mind. Right, round number 2 is a little bit more to do with sport on screen. Sport on screen. So it's something to do with sportsmen or women, or wow, you'll get the idea of it. Names of films, general stuff like that. So question 1, here we go. Which famous jockey did Matt Dawson replace as team captain on A Question of Sport in 2004? Now that's a 2-word answer. So which famous jockey did Matt Dawson replace as team captain on A Question of Sport in 2004? The easiest one in the world, but let's see how we all fare with that one. Think of a famous jockey and it might be the right answer. Question number 2. The 1980 film Caddyshack and the 1996 film Happy Gilmore were both themed around which sport? Certainly Happy Gilmore, that was a bit stupid. Anybody's ever watched it, but never mind. So the 1980 film Caddyshack and the 1996 film Happy Gilmore were both themed around which sport? Question number 3 is just asking for a date, pretty straightforward. In what decade of the 20th century was the TV show Ski Sunday first broadcast? I just need a decade. We can't go far on with that, surely. So in what decade of the 20th century was the TV show Ski Sunday first broadcast? Just a bottle going round. Question number 4, just name of the actor this time. Who played real-life boxer Jake LaMotta in the 1980 American biographical sports drama film Raging Bull? Very well-known film, but who played? So who played real-life boxer Jake LaMotta in the 1980 American biographical sports drama film Raging Bull? I think my son Luke's seen that about half a dozen times. All the wives put 2 answers down. So Question number 5. A Luciano Pavarotti recording of which song was used as the theme song for BBC TV's coverage of the 1990 FIFA World Cup? Oh, didn't we know it? God, it got played to death, didn't it, for years? A Luciano Pavarotti recording of which song was used as the theme song for the BBC TV's coverage of the 1990 FIFA World Cup? Come on, I'm sure we all know that one. Question number 6. This was another pretty daft question, but never mind. What 1993 film tells the story of 3 Jamaican sprinters who are determined to form a bobsleigh team, despite the fact that there's no snow in Jamaica? So what 1993 film tells the story of 3 Jamaican sprinters who are determined to form a bobsleigh team, despite the fact that there's no snow in Jamaica? That's a 2-word answer I'm after for that film. Jed and Tracy have said, great film. I've never seen it, so I must watch that because it sounds a bit of a daft thing, but never mind. Question number 7. I will give half marks for this, half for one and half for the other. Listen carefully. First aired on ITV in 1981, Bullseye was a darts-themed show presented by Jim Bowen. But what 2 consolation prizes were given to the losing teams? Well, to each of the people in the losing teams, actually. So first aired on the ITV in 1981, Bullseye was a darts-themed show presented by Jim Bowen. But what 2 consolation prizes were given to the losing team's participants, really? Because I think each participant got these 2 things. I'll give you half a point for each if you can remember them. Great show, that Bullseye, eh? They don't get any better than that, really, do they? That was absolutely the worst. No, I better not say anything. I'm live on YouTube. Bus fare home. That's about right. I like that one. It was the bus fare home he got. Oh dear. That sounds more like the chase, that, isn't it? Go on your bike kind of thing. Never mind. Well, that's the kind of thing I like. Sim M77. Just keep sticking them in. Question number 8. Which famous hymn has been sung at every FA Cup final since 1927? To be fair, the cup was actually known as the English Cup at that time, back in 1927, just for a bit of information. And it was even more embarrassing because it was won by a Welsh team for the first time in 1927. Right. Question number 9. Ted Lowe and Clive Everton were both famous commentators which were associated with which sport? So question 9 again. Ted Lowe and Clive Everton were both famous commentators which were associated with which sport? And finally, question number 10. This is a good old film, this one. We had Pele in it and all sorts. What was the final score in the match between the Allied prisoners of war team and the German team in the film Escape to Victory? I think it had Sylvester Stallone in goal, didn't it? Dreadful bit of acting, but never mind. What was the final score in the match between the Allied prisoners of war team and the German team in the film Escape to Victory? You don't know it? Just got to pluck one out the air, I suppose, and be done with it. Right, that's the end of round number 2. That was a bit trickier. weren't many clues in that round, unfortunately, but next round there will be a lot of clues. So you might come back a lot stronger in the next round if you didn't get those. So then I will ask you now as teams just to get your answers down, make sure they're all written down in order on a piece of paper, and do some marking. Be honest and put your total score down. Now, your total score obviously is round 1 and round number 2 together, so no putting 6 down. I need you to put 12 down at least. Right then, here we go. These are the answers to the previous 10 questions. That famous jockey I wanted to, who replaced Matt Dawson as a captain on the Question of Sport was a guy called Frankie Dettori. Well done if you got Frankie Dettori and remembered he was on Question of Sport. Number 2, Caddyshack and Happy Gilmore, of course, both themed on golf. They were both themed on the game of golf. Round number 3, the decade I wanted that the TV show Ski Sunday first broadcast. That was the 1970s. It was 1978 to be exact. Number 4, the who played the real-life boxer, Jake LaMotta? That was a Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro. He starred in Raging Bull. Number 5, that song, of course, was Nessun Dorma, None Shall Sleep, or whatever it is. Number 6, the Jamaican bobsleigh team, of course. The film's title was Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings. Number 7, now half point for each of these. The consolation prizes were a set of darts and a glass tankard. So he gave them a glass tankard with a set of darts in it. Fine present by any standards. Number 8, the famous song that's been sung at Wembley ever since the FA Cup final in 1927 was Abide With Me, when the Welsh crowd, the Cardiff crowd, started singing Abide With Me. And they've sung it ever since at every FA Cup final. Number 9, of course, Ted Lowe and Clive Everton are associated with snooker. And finally, number 10, the escape to victory score was 4-all. So the Allied prisoners scored 4 and the German team, of course, scored 4-all. Right then, let's have some scores in after that rather tricky round. That was a little bit trickier, but never mind. Do remember, points make prizes tonight. We've got some very good prizes up for grabs now. Lydia's just put the answers in, so you can check your answers. Do remember to put your total score in, so it's round 1 and 2 together. I'm sure you can add those up, saves me having to add them up. Jed and Tracy have moved on to 17. Natalie Kleiners, we had got a 15 altogether. That's excellent. Spoon and Fisher on 18.5. We've got Footy Fox 86 on 16. Sim M 77's on 14 points. Angela Pugh's on 14 points. We've got Michelle James and Charlie moved on to 18.5 points. Penny Graham's on 11. We've got Pick and Mix on 19 points. Team TSIM is on 14 points. Stephen Hill. Georgie Lambert and Rory for the Yorkies are on 16. And Anna Williams is on 13 points. Well played tonight. Right then, everybody. Yes, we've got some good scores there. 1 or 2 people have now dropped some points. It looks at the moment, though, Pick a Mix are setting the pace with 19 points. Well played them, having only dropped 1 point so far. With Michelle close behind, they dropped half a point there. It must have been for the tankard and or for the darts they'd forgotten, but never mind, one or the other. Right then, round number 3 is an alphabetical round. Your first answer starts with an A, second with a B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So we get to J, and that should be number 10 if we're lucky. I think that's what I've got anyway, yes. Right, we've got the idea of this round. So starting off with the letter A, 2-word answer. Which Formula One driver won the World Championship in 1988, 1990, and 1991? So question 1 again. Which Formula One driver won the World Championship in 1988, 1990, and 1991? It's a 2-word answer whose first name starts with the letter A. Question number 2, starting with the letter B, which kind of gives this away a bit, but listen carefully. What is a sporting event where competitors aim to compete 2 consecutive lengths of 60 yards in a water-filled trench using flippers? The current world record is 1 minute and 18 seconds, and it's held by Neil Rutter. So question 2 again, what is a sporting event where competitors aim to compete 2 consecutive lengths of 60 yards in a water-filled trench using flippers? The current world record is 1 minute 18 seconds and it's held by Neil Rutter. That is a 2-word answer starting with the letter B. Question number 3. Over which flat racing course in Monmouthshire is the Welsh Derby run? Although the last time I cycled through it was on a big hill, so who knows where this flat course is? I don't know. So question 3 again. Over which flat racing course in Monmouthshire is the Welsh Derby run? You'll know that one, Ange. You got a letter? Starts with the letter C, of course. You only need to know you only need to know the names of your towns in Monmouthshire. Right, starting with the letter D, 2-word answer. What type of racing has only 2 cars competing on the track at the same time? The aim being the first to cross a set finish line. So what type of racing has only 2 cars competing on the track at the same time? The aim being the first to cross a set finish line. Oh, I'm beginning to feel hot and flush. Just checking, make sure I haven't got any vaccination side effects coming on. I feel the sweat coming on. Must need another beer soon. Right, question number 5. Little tricky, this one. A 2-word answer. It's not in English, which doesn't help. In the world of fencing, what instruction is given by the directors to indicate the ready position prior to the start of the competition? That's a 2-word answer. It's in French and it starts with the letter E. So in the world of fencing, what instruction is given by the directors or referees, they're known as directors apparently, to indicate the ready position prior to the start of the competition? You'll have all heard of it. Whether you can remember it is a different matter. Question number 6, again, is a 2-word answer. He's a footballer, and it goes back quite a way. Which footballer appeared in his first World Cup in 1966? That will help. Playing every match his side were involved in, including the final. Surely that gives it away. We all knew who played in the 1966 World Cup final, surely. Well, the 2 teams. Got to be one of those. So which footballer appeared in his first World Cup in 1966, playing every match his side were involved in, including the final? He was a bit of a legend. Right, to cool me down, I'm now going to attempt to try this. It's a tin of Jaipur. We'll see how we get on with that. Right, question number 7, starting with the letter G. Who fought Muhammad Ali in the boxing match, which the press entitled The Rumble in the Jungle? That's a 2-word answer as well. So who fought Muhammad Ali in the boxing match, which the press had entitled The Rumble in the Jungle? He's particularly well known for his barbecuing prowess. Sorry, I'm being daft. Yeah, I'm giving it away. I won't give any more away. Sorry if everybody knew that one. Question number 8, starting with the letter H. In which athletics event did Jessica Even Ennis win an Olympic gold medal at the 2012 London Olympics? So in which athletics event did Jessica Ennis win an Olympic gold medal at the 2012 London Games? Question number 9 starts with the letter I, which makes this fairly straightforward. 2-word answer. In which sport can you perform a saucer pass? Named because the puck flies in the air like a flying saucer. So question number 9. In which sport can you perform a saucer pass? Named because the puck flies in the air like a flying saucer. And finally, question number 10, starting with the letter J, which will help you. The Australian Open is a tennis tournament held annually over the last fortnight of which month of the year at Melbourne Park, Australia? So question 10 again. The Australian Open is a tennis tournament held annually over the last fortnight of which month of the year at Melbourne Park in Australia? Tom? Have I? Oh dear. Oh no, you're right. I deleted it on mine. I did notice that earlier. Lydia was just pointing out I've got 11 questions in the next round, but I have already deleted it on mine. And I think it's the last one I got rid of, the Southpaw. Yeah. Right then, everybody, I will go through the answers to that round, see how we've all fared. You see, it hasn't been too hard, has it? Even the wife's been nearly enjoying herself. Right, question number 1. The Formula 1 driver I wanted, who won the World Championship in 88, 90 and 91 was Ayrton Senna. Ayrton Senna. Number 2, that sport where competitors try to do 2 consecutive lengths of 60 yards in a water-filled trench using their flippers and a snorkel is called bog snorkeling. Bog snorkeling. Bog snorkeling championships were held in Wales last year. Number 3, I was after Chepstow, also in Wales. Number 4, the type of racing I was after was drag racing, of course, where 2 cars try to compete over the quarter mile or the metric mile. They do have different distances depending where in the world they come from. Number 5, that was the tricky one in the world of fencing. The ready position prior to the start is on guard. On guard. And it's spelled E-N, guard, G-A-R-D, which is why it made it a bit tricky. On guard. Number 6, the footballer I was after. He played for Germany, and his name was Franz Beckenbauer. Well done if you remember Franz Beckenbauer. Number 7, of course, I was after George Foreman, who fought Muhammad Ali and promptly lost. Number 8 was the heptathlon that Jessica Ennis won a gold medal as. Number 9 was ice hockey, of course, for the flying puck in the air. And finally, number 10, the Australian Open is the last fortnight of January every year from Melbourne Park in Australia. Of course, they're in the Southern Hemisphere, so it will be January. Right then, everybody, let's have some total scores in. Do remember, this is after 3 rounds, so total your scores up. We'll see how you're all faring, see whether pick and mix are still there or thereabouts. So some good prizes up for grabs tonight. So Georgie and Rory and the Yorkies move on to a very respectable 26 points. Well played, Georgia. Jed and Tracy have moved on to 27. We've got Sim Evans, 77. He's on 23 points. Well played, Sim. We've got Natalie Coles in the family. We've got 23 as well. Michelle Gibbons, 27.5 from Sunny Creek. Stephen Hill, TSIM on 21 points. Angie Hughes on 21 points. Spoon and Fish, however, they've moved on to a magnificent 28.5 points. But pipping them, we've got Pick a Mix, only dropping 1 point so far on a fantastic 29 points. Well played, Pick a Mix. Penny Graham's on 18 with Footy Fox 86 on 25 points. So we've got some great scores in at the moment. Pick a Mix are in the running along with Spoon and Fish, and not far behind we've got Michelle and Charlie and James and Jed and Tracy and the Yorkies all doing very well at the moment. Do make sure all of you put your scores down, because you never know. It's quite easy to catch up. Right, Penny Graham's on 18 and Footy Fox 86 on 25 points. So well played, everybody. Now then, round number 4 is just some general sports trivia. I hope everybody's been listening or know everything about their cricket. We start off with a cricket famous batsman, well, famous test cricketer really, but here we go. In 2016, which 31-year-old Englishman became the youngest ever cricketer to have scored a career total of 10,000 runs in test cricket? Oh, and he scored 9. Sorry, Anna, I need you to put your total now. 24. Brilliant. Well played. So in 2016, which 31-year-old Englishman became the youngest ever cricketer to have scored a career total of 10,000 runs in test cricket? Question number 2 for all you people that like 10-pin bowling. What animal's name is also the term given to 3 strikes in a row in the game of 10-pin bowling? So what animal's name is also the term given to 3 strikes in a row in the game of 10-pin bowling? Question number 3, dead easy this one, listen carefully. In 1977, which horse became the first in history to win the Grand National for a 3rd time? So question 3 again. In 1977, which horse became the first in history to win the Grand National for a 3rd time? I remember this quite well because my dad always used to gamble on the Grand National. I think he got it right those 3 years. It's the only horse he ever used to bet on, but never mind. Not that you'd win much. Question number 4 is this is some serious football quizzing, this is. Unfortunately, we probably haven't got many serious football quizzes here tonight, but never mind. Who was the oldest player to have competed in the English Premier League when he did so at the ripe old age of 43 years old in 1995? Surprisingly, he was a goalkeeper, I'll give you that, which may help somewhat. So who was the oldest player to have competed in the English Premier League when he did so at the ripe old age of 43 years old in 1995? I know my wife tried to get me to give up at 30. Then she tried it again at 35, then at 40. Eventually, I gave up just past my 50th, I think, somewhere. Question number 5, if you can remember this. In 1973, which 29-year-old female tennis player defeated 55-year-old Bobby Riggs in a famous exhibition match that was known as the Battle of the Sexes? There's quite a story around this. He reckoned that women were hopeless, so she beat him. So in 1973, which 29-year-old female tennis player defeated 55-year-old Bobby Riggs in a famous exhibition match that was known as the Battle of the Sexes? She was probably the biggest tennis star of the time. Yeah, this is a bit of a tougher round, this one, but never mind. I didn't realise it was that tough until I started reading them. Could I answer that one myself? I don't know. Question number 6 goes back to Formula One. In the 2015 Formula One season, which Grand Prix took place at the Sepang International Circuit? You've only got to know where Sepang is, I suppose. My mate cannot get that straight away, but he's dipped out on tonight's quiz, but never mind. So in the 2015 Formula One season, which Grand Prix took place at the Sepang International Circuit? Now, do remember, if you enjoy quizzing, you can come and join us for the big quiz on Sunday nights, 8 o'clock, where we have 6 rounds of just general knowledge. That is more general trivia than just sports. Right, question number 7. Which country's national rugby union team traditionally perform a haka before each match? So question 7 again. Which country's national rugby union team traditionally perform a haka before each match? Right, question number 8. Which of the following has the greater distance for its world record? So I'm going to give you 2 alternatives. We just need to know which is the greatest distance. Is it the long jump or is it the pole vault? So which of the following has the greater distance for its world record? I'll give the option. Is it the long jump or the pole vault? That's an interesting one. Question number 9. What is the 5th studio album by the British rock band Queen? It was released on the 10th of December 1976 by EMI Records in the United Kingdom. Very sporting theme on this one. So what is the 5th studio album by the British rock band Queen? It was released on the 10th of December 1976 by EMI Records in the United Kingdom. It was released by somebody else in the States, but I can't remember who it was. And finally, I didn't realise this, but an interesting question, number 10. In a boxing match, what does the referee shout before the start of each round to ensure that anyone assisting the boxers since the end of the previous round must now leave the ring? Oh, George has just joined us. Good evening, George. Hope all is well with you. He's saying, hi, hey, Nick. Hey, George. Let's see whether you know that one. Quite an easy one, that. Well, no, it's not. In a boxing match, what does the referee shout before the start of each round to ensure that anyone assisting the boxers since the end of the previous round must now leave the ring? Yeah, they were 10 tricky questions there. That might have caught a few out. Do remember, I'll give you the answers to that round and give me your total score, Do remember we've got some good prizes tonight, including a fish and chips supper and then some Tesco's vouchers for first and second place. So let's try and fight it out. Okay, then, let's go back to the beginning of that round and do some marking. I'm sure you've all got an answer down for each of these by now. So question number 1, in 2016, which 31-year-old Englishman became the youngest ever cricketer to have scored a career total of 10,000 runs in Test cricket? That was Alistair Cook. Well done if you got that, Alistair Cook. Number 2, the name of the animal, which term given to 3 strikes in a row in 10-pin bowling, that's called a turkey. If you can get 3 strikes in a row, it's called a turkey. Number 3, of course, which horse became the first in history to win the Grand National for a 3rd time? That was Red Rum. Number 4, that was the tricky one in the round. What was the oldest player to have competed in the English Premier League? He was 43 years old. He was playing for Manchester City in 1995, and his name was John Burridge. John Burridge. I think he played for 28 different clubs in his playing career. Number 5, in the Battle of the Sexes, which 29-year-old female tennis player defeated Bobby Riggs? That was Billie Jean King. Billie Jean King. Well done if you got that. Number 6, Sepang, of course, is in Malaysia, so it's the Malaysian Grand Prix. Number 7, I was after the Haka, which comes from New Zealand. It's New Zealand's international rugby team. Number 8, with a distance of 8.95 metres, the long jump is clearly the longer distance. The pole vault is just 6.14 metres for the world record. So I was after the long jump. Number 9, the 5th studio album for the British rock band Queen was called Day at the Races, Day at the Races. And finally, number 10, in a boxing match, what does the referee shout just before the start of each round? He shouts seconds out, seconds out. And that means the seconds, which are in the corner looking after the boxers, they've got to get out the ring, seconds out. I always thought that was a time signal, but clearly not. And there we have it. Shows how wrong I am half the time. Right then, everybody, let's have some total scores in. Do remember, we're now played 4 rounds, so you should have a score not above 40, but it should be above 0. So Georgie and Rory are on 33 points. Natalie Collins and the family are on 30 points. Michelle, Charlie and James have moved on to 35.5. Adam Foster's done very well with Spoon and Fish on that round, 37.5 points. Sim M77 is on 30 points. We've got Jed and Tracy doing quite well on 35 points. Stephen Hill and the TSIM score, he's on 27 points. Angie Pugh's on 27 points. No splitting them two tonight. What other scores have we got coming in? We got Pigamix on 36 points, so it's very tight at the top here at the moment. Have we got anybody else in? Any more points coming in? Penny's on 23. Well played, Penny. So it's improving your sports knowledge as we speak. But it's great to see you joining us anyway. Yeah. So, right then, everybody. It looks like a slight change in the lead then. So Spoon and Fish. He's obviously not after the fish and chips tonight. He's after the winning prize. So we'll have to see whether somebody can catch him. 37. With Pigamix close behind Michelle and Jen and Tracy, all very close. So round number 5 is an initial letter link. Now in this round, we have 9 general knowledge questions where you take the initial letter of each of your answers. And I'm pretty sure, no, they're not. I was going to say they're all one-word answers. They're not at all. And I'll ask you to rearrange them by the time we get to number 10 to spell out something. So, question number 1, listen carefully. The 1950 edition of the IOC's Green Booklet, that's the International Olympic Committee's Green Booklet, stated that each colour of the Olympic rings corresponded to a particular continent. What colour was used to represent the Americas? Well done, Annie. Annie's on 6 for that round. What was her total score? What were we on the previous round, Annie? She was on 24. Fantastic, 31 points. Well played, Annie. Right then. So in 1950's edition of the IOC Green Booklet stated that each colour of the Olympic rings corresponds to a particular continent. What colour was used to represent the Americas? Footy Fox 86 on 29 as well. Well played, Footy Fox 86. Come on, there's some people coming up on the rails as we speak. Question number 2. Mark Twain is commonly said to have described what sport as a good walk spoiled? So Mark Twain is commonly said to have described what sport as a good walk spoiled? That is a very common quiz question. Sure, we all know that. Question number 3. The British Open is the oldest golf tournament in the world. But which British golfer won the title in 1987, 1990, and 1992? So question 3 again. The British Open is the oldest golf tournament in the world, but which British golfer won the title in 1987, 1990, and 1992? Definitely on a roll. That's a 2-word answer I'm after. Question number 4 is a one-word answer. Commissioned specifically to travel round the globe, what type of craft was Gypsy Moth 4? So question number 4 again. Commissioned specifically to travel round the globe, what type of craft was Gypsy Moth 4? Just a one-word answer I'm after for that. I've even got some stamps with that on it as well. Goes back a bit. Well, we have started an hour earlier. Question number 5. Listen carefully. This is a two-word answer as well. In March 2006, it was announced that Belfast City Airport would be renamed in memory of which famous Northern Irish footballer? So question 5 again. In March 2006, it was announced that Belfast City Airport would be renamed in memory of which famous Northern Irish footballer? Question number 6. This is just a quote from a paper from last year. In 2019, which sportsman said winning a doubles title 5 months after receiving a metal hip and thinking his career might be over was mental? That's exactly what he said, apparently. So in 2019, which sportsman said winning a doubles title 5 months after receiving a metal hip and thinking his career might be over was mental? Question number 7, another well-known sportsman who is the only man to captain an England team whilst playing third division football. So who is the only man to captain an England team whilst playing third division football? Question number 8. I seem to have put a lot of these in tonight. I didn't realise actually, but never mind. Well, wasn't my intention by any means, but never mind. Question number 8. Who was Formula One world champion twice, winning the 1962 and 1968, as well as being runner-up on 3 occasions? A very famous racing driver. So who was Formula One world champion twice, winning in 1962 and 1968, as well as being runner-up on 3 occasions? What's that? What year? What? And now, does that mean who was the only man to captain an England team whilst playing third division football? You put what year? I don't know is the answer. He captained the team for quite a while, I have to say. It's probably, I don't know. I could hazard again. I'll have a look. My daughter will have a look for me. See what year he was for you. If there's any help, it wasn't last year. Well, that's probably no help whatsoever. 1980s. Question number 9. Listen carefully. What sporting game, it is a game really this, has a name that's derived from the Latin for the bird of prey known as the European hobby? So what sporting game has a name that's derived from the Latin for the bird of prey known as the European hobby? Quite a clever way of coming up with a name. Now then, this may help you a lot. Question number 10 says, and finally, if you rearrange the initial letters of the first 9 answers, you will find which famous sportsman who was named Sports Personality of the Year in 2009. And if it's any help, it was a footballer. So question 10 again, and finally, if you rearrange the initial letters of the first 9 answers, you will find which famous sportsman who was named Sports Personality of the Year in 2009. And that is a 2-word answer. Famous footballer. So you need to look at that. I will give you a minute or two to try and work it out now, because if you can get his name, that will help with all the other answers, of course. Oh, Welsh things. You should have got Martin Davis doing it. Come on, Anna, you'll know this one. Famous sportsman, famous footballer, 2009, 2-word answer, 9 letters long. And his name can be spelt out by rearranging the answers to the first letters of the answers to the first 9 questions. No, I haven't seen many jokes come on tonight. We normally have a few people putting a few jokes on. Do feel free if you want to put a joke on there. Well, let's take this very seriously, because we've got some prizes up for grabs tonight. Somebody's got to go away with a Tesco's voucher or 2. What's that? No, I haven't seen anything tonight. Never mind. Right then, everybody, do we need some more time to work this one out? Do feel free to stick it in the chat column if you need a bit more time. Just say, yes, please, more time. More time, Georgie's working it out. Come on, you must have the footballer now, have you, Georgie? If you've got the footballer, you can try and work them all backwards. Yes, okay. And now he's just put my face in a book, but it didn't make Facebook. That's fair enough. People, yes, Adam's working hard now. Spoon and Fish try and keep their lead. Natalie Collins is doing very well. The Collins family. Yes, more time, please. If you've worked out that footballer's names, you can now work out the ones you've got wrong, or the answers you've got wrong, and try and correct them. But remember, the initial letters of your first 9 answers are rearranged to spell out which famous footballer was Sportsman of the Year. Well, BBC Sports Personality of the Year, should we say. Do remember, if you like quizzing, I'm doing a quiz at the moment every Sunday and every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock for 8:15 start. Very competitive. We have a lot of teams taking part. But it's the taking part that counts. Because I never give away any prizes. No, not quite fair. But we've done it, says Natalie. Right, well, if Natalie's done it, anybody need any more time, gang? We're ready. We're ready. Good, I like to see that. You worked it out yet? Not quite, but nearly there. Well done if you've worked it out. Right, let's go back and give you some answers to that round. So pens down, and probably had long enough. So let's see how we do. The initial letter link. Right, according to the International Olympic Committee's Green Booklet in 1950, the Americas was represented by the red ring. Surprisingly, Africa was black, and surprisingly, Asia was yellow, with Europe being blue, of course. Can't remember what the others were, but never mind. Number 2, Mark Twain is commonly said to have described what sport as a good walk spoilt. That was the game of golf. Number 3, the British Open was another golfing question. Of course, that was won by Nick Faldo, who won it on 3 occasions, 87, 90, 92. He won the Masters as well. So well done if you got Nick Faldo. Right, commissioned specifically to travel around the globe. What type of craft was Gypsy Moth? That was, of course, a yacht. A yacht. Gypsy Moth. The 4th was a yacht, which went all the way around the world. Number 5, Belfast City Airport was renamed George Best Airport. Number 6, of course, it was Andy Murray that in 2019, after thinking his career was over, thought it was mental that they managed to get and win a final. Number 7, who's the only man to have captained an England team whilst playing 3rd Division football? That was Ian Botham, who, of course, it was a bit trick because he captained the English cricket team, nothing to do with football, but he was playing 3rd Division football at the time. Number 8, who was Formula 1 world champion twice, winning in 62 and 68, as well as being runner-up on 3 occasions. That was Graham Hill, father of Damon Hill, of course. Graham Hill, still regarded as one of the greatest racers of all time. Number 9, that sporting game was the game of Subutio. Subutio is basically the Latin for hobby. And it was, it came up with the hobby to play football as a hobby. And finally, if you rearrange the initial letters of the first 9 answers, you would have ended up with, if you were lucky, Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs. So well done if you got that. There was an R, a Y, an A and an N, a G, an I, 2 more G's and an S. So well done if you got that. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, see how we're faring before we go to the very last round. Do remember tonight, we have some prizes up for 1st and 2nd. It is the taking part, of course, that counts. So the Collins family, Natalie and the gang, have moved on to 39 points. Well played. Georgie and Rory are on 41 points with Sim M 77. I presume that's Simon, is it? I don't know, on 38 points. Jen and Tracy, however, 45 points with Footy Fox 86 on 36. Michelle, Charlie and James are on 45.5 points. Angie Hughes moved on to 33. Yay, United won again. Oh, did they? I don't know. Is that something on the telly? Adam Foster, Spoon and Fish on 45.5 points with Pick a Mix on 44 points. TSIM score is 28 points. Well played, Stephen and the gang. Penny Graham's on 29. And A. Williams on 41 points. That's right, Nick. It is Simon, isn't it? Yeah, Simon 77, I presume. Born 77. Yes. Let's get there. That makes you a bit young to know some of these answers, but never mind. Right then, everybody. It looks like we've got anybody in the 40s has got a chance of winning this quiz. However, at the moment, we have Pick a Mix on 44. We've got Spoon and Fish on 45.5. We've got Misha and Charlie and James on 45.5. But out in the lead by half a point, we've got Jed and Tracy on 45 points. No, that can't be right, can it? Because they're on 45.5. Sorry, I got that wrong. We got Pick a Mix on 44. We got Jed and Tracy on 45. Then we have Michelle, Charlie and James on 45.5, and Spoon and Fish and Adam Foster on 45.5 points. With the Yorkies doing very well on 41 points. Do you remember we're also doing a bit of a raffle? I will pick a name at random in a minute out of a pot I've got with all your names down here. That we've got a bottle of gin as well for the lucky winner of that. So I'm not quite sure how we'll get it to you, but I'm sure we can sort it out somehow. Right then, round number 6 is just general trivia. 10 silly questions Well, they're not actually silly questions. Most of them are all right. If we have a tie at the end, I do have a bonus tie break to try and sort you out, which is a stupid question, but that's what you need for a tie break, of course. So, going to the last round. With £50 up for first prize, remember, with £30 for second prize, and a fish and chip supper for third prize. And don't try and win the third prize if you live miles away, because it's not going to work. Right then, here we go. Question number 1. What is the only Olympic sport that has a finish line that no competitor will ever cross? What are you talking about? So question 1 again. What is the only Olympic sport that has a finish line that no competitor will ever cross? That's a bit of a daft question, but never mind, we like daft questions. Question number 2. This has been mentioned on numerous times tonight. Originally hosted by David Vine, which TV panel show celebrated its 50th anniversary in the January of 2020? So originally hosted by David Vine, which TV panel show celebrated its 50th anniversary in the January of 2020, so not long ago. I have mentioned that on numerous occasions tonight, so I'm hoping that somebody will get that straight away. Question number 3 is a bit trickier for all you cycling fans. Who finished second to Egan Bernal in the 2019 Tour de France? Very famous cyclist. So who finished second to Egan Bernal in the 2019 Tour de France? Question number 4. I'm sure all you motorsport fans are like this one. Which Italian rider has won 7 MotoGP World Championships since 2000 and is the only racer to have competed in more than 400 Grand Prix? God knows how he's ever survived 400. I think most people would give up after a few. So question 4. Which Italian rider has won 7 MotoGP World Championships since 2000 and is the only racer to have competed in more than 400 Grand Prix? That takes some balls riding around on one of those things, I have to say. It's bad enough on my tandem doing 28 mile an hour, let alone doing 200 mile an hour. Question number 5. What sport is called the sport of kings, in which players cannot play left-handed and is played in time periods of up to a maximum of 7.5 minutes? So question 5 again. What sport is called the sport of kings, in which players cannot play left-handedly and is played in time periods of up to 7.5 minutes? Oh, my wife's just switching the heating on with her new watch. Oh, yes, it has come on. Clickety-click. Technology. Marvellous thing, isn't it? Right, question number 6 is an anagram. Not particularly tricky, so write this down. Park farmland. Park farmland is an anagram of which famous footballer stroke manager? Lydia will write that down for you so you don't have to worry about me pronouncing it or spelling it for you. So Park Farmland is an anagram of which famous footballer stroke manager? Apparently he was building a house in Derbyshire only a year ago. Oh, What's that? Question number 7. This is an interesting question. What is the most common prefix name used for soccer clubs in the world? I will put that a little bit at the end there. So what is the most common prefix name used for soccer clubs in the world? Prefix obviously comes before the name of the club. What's the most common prefix used for all the soccer clubs in the world? Rather unusual. Question number 8. This is a darts question for all you darts fans who play it regularly in the pub. How many different ways stroke combinations are there to throw a 9-dart finish in the game of 501? Now, I'll give you a choice here. You might like to try and work it out. Is it 39, 394, or 3,944? So question 8 again, how many different ways stroke combinations are there to throw a 9-dart finish in the game of 501? I'll give you the choice. Is it 39, 394, or 3,944? Of course, if you're quick enough, you'll be able to work it out. Possibly. Or you can just guess, of course, yes. Right, 2 to go. Then we can declare some winners and losers and see how you've fared. I hope you've enjoyed the quiz tonight, those that have taken part. As I say, we do a regular quiz Sunday nights and Wednesday nights a little bit later, 8 for 8:15. Do come and join us if you want to. Question number 9 then in tonight's quiz, the penultimate question. In 1983, which English football club became the first sports club in the world to float on a stock exchange? And I don't mean literally float, I mean float the company on a stock exchange. So in 1983, which English football club became the first sports club in the world to float on a stock exchange? I'm pretty sure it was the London Stock Exchange. I should have put that down, but can't think they'd have floated anywhere else, but they might have done. In fact, I'll look that up and I'll think about it. And finally, question number 10, this will sort you out. In the world of betting, how much money would you wager if you were to put a monkey on a particular horse? So question number 10 again. In the world of betting, how much money would you wager if you were to put a monkey on a particular horse? And there we have it. They were tricky, some of those. You might have got the monkey at the end there. I hope you got the football club. 10 general knowledge questions. We'll see how you've all fared. They were a bit tricky, but good sports questions all the same. Still can't find out whether this football team are floated on which stock exchange, but I don't know how to spell the name. Oh, never mind. I'll find it later. Right, I'll just give you a second to get those finished off, and then we'll do some marking after round number 6. And we will see how you've all fared. So, the general trivia round. We started off, what's the only Olympic sport the finish line has no competitor that will ever cross? That's the sport of swimming, of course. When they hit the finish line, they don't go past it. Otherwise, they're in trouble, I suppose. So swimming for number one. That was a bit of a trick question. Number two, I was after a question of sport, which was originally hosted by David Vine and celebrated its 50th anniversary. Still going strong. Number three, who finished second to Egan Bernal in the 2019 Tour de France? That was Geraint Thomas, of course. Geraint Thomas, who had won it the year before. Number four, I was after Valentino Rossi, better known as the Doctor, the Italian rider who won 7 MotoGP World Championships. Number five, the Sport of Kings is also the name of the game of polo. The periods are known as chukkers, and they're normally 7 minutes long, but the play can continue for a further 30 seconds after the chukker is supposed to be finished. So they actually can last 7.5 minutes. They also have to play left-handed. Number six, of course, Park Farmland was Frank Lampard. Well done if you worked that one out. Number seven, the most common prefix, which is a name used before the name of the soccer club, is Dynamo. Dynamo, as in Dynamo Zagreb, Dynamo, whatever, all those Eastern European teams, there's lots of dynamos. Number eight, how many different ways or combinations are there to throw a 9-dart finish in the game of 501? Well, statistically, there are 3,944 different ways of throwing combinations, which will give you a 501 finish, or a 9-dart finish even in the game of 501. Number nine, it was Tottenham FC, Tottenham Football Club, Tottenham Hotspur, who were the first English football club to be float on a stock exchange. And finally, in the world of betting, how much money would you wager if you were to put a monkey on a particular horse? That's £500. £500 if you put a monkey on. So perhaps as well we don't gamble in that state. I don't know. I find that a bit hard to stick £500 on the horse, I have to say, but never mind. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, and we'll sort out some winners and some losers. And overnight, I will discuss how we're going to get prizes to the people that have won or come second. So an A scored 3 on that round, giving us a grand total of, come on, A, how many have we got? Natalie in the game. Well played, Natalie Collins. That's a very respectable score, 45 points, and A ends up on 46 points. Georgia Lambert and the Yorkies end up on 50. Well played, Georgia. And we've got Michelle and Charlie and James. They end up on 52.5, with Pick and Mix pipping them on 53 points. That's Jed and Tracy on 54 points. That's a cracking score with Angie Pugh on 40. Well played, Angie. Stephen Hill, team at TSIM on 33 points. Simon 77. He's on 46 points. That's a very good score. Spoon and Fish end up on 52.5, with Penny Graham on 34 points. Footy Fox also ends up in the 40s on 41.5. Well played, Footy Fox 86. Well, thanks everybody for taking part tonight. It's been a bit of fun, a bit different than normal, I have to say. My sports knowledge isn't the best in the world. I'm probably a bit old considering. But, now then, I am going to pick out I have got a little thing here, so we're going to pick out one out of here. I can get to it. To pick out somebody to win a bottle of, I think it's a bottle of gin. Could be, I think it's a bottle of gin. And it is, if I can read that. Oh, where's my camera gone? Oh, it's up there. In a minute. Oh, no, it's going to come into focus, but it won't. Oh, yes, no, not quite. It's Simon. Simon. So Sim4, 77. Simon, 77, you have won tonight's raffle, which is a bottle of gin. So well played you. Well played you indeed. So if you want to send me your details after the quiz by Messenger, I think you've probably got me. You can find me, Nick Pugh, Quizmaster, all that below. You'll find me on Facebook. Pretty straightforward. Nicholas Pugh, lives in Rugby. Find me, and I will make sure that the club gets you a bottle of gin. So well played. Get in, he says. Thank you. Right then, as for the winners tonight, it does appear that in first place tonight, winning a magnificent £50 Tesco's voucher, which I've got to get to you as well, is Jed and Tracy, I think, on 54 points. Nobody else is claiming to have beaten that, are they? No. So that is a fantastic score, Jed and Tracy. Well played, you. Again, you better send me your details, Jed and Tracy. I'll need to know where we can send that to. So thanks for taking part tonight. It was well worth you doing. That's a cracking score. Now then, in second place, we have, it looks like Pick a Mix, is that right? On 53 points. So well played, Pick a Mix. That is also a fantastic prize because you've won, I think it's a £30 voucher for Tesco. So well played, Pick a Mix, and thank you for taking part in tonight's quiz. And then it appears we've got a tie, is it? So Michelle, Charlie, and James, and Spoon and Fish. Now that's very appropriate, isn't it? Because they've won a fish and chips supper. So you either all go around to everybody's house and have it together, or I try and get the organizer of the quiz to actually give you both a fish and chips supper. So maybe you want to send me your details and we'll try and figure that out overnight or in the morning when I speak to the Rugby Football Club, and we'll see how we fare. So if you send me your details, and Michelle, you send me yours, I pretty much know where you are anyway, but I could do with some contact details because I've got to get the club to organise this. That's the Rugby Football Club. So Spoon and Fish and Michelle, Charlie and James, well done indeed. You've also been treated to a fantastic chip supper, I think. And then it's commiserations to those that were just behind. But thanks everybody. Georgie and Rory were so close on 50, so not far behind. Two points behind off a fish and chip supper there, Rory and Georgie. But I was never going to get it to you in a million years, was I? But thanks everybody for taking part, and we will hopefully look forward to some of you come and do the quiz another night. We do it regularly on a Sunday night. We have 6 rounds of general knowledge rather than whatever else, and it is very competitive on a Sunday night. We normally have about 80-90 teams taking part, so it's always good fun. So do come and feel free to come and join us. Thanks, Natalie. She's saying thank you, Nick and Lydia. We all had a lovely time. Well, it's great, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself, tested the grey matter a little bit. And thanks, Simon, Natalie, Fully Fox 86, Penny Graham. Thanks to Adam. Thanks to Simon, Stephen Hill, Angie Pugh, Jed and Tracy, of course, Pick a Mix, Michelle and Georgia, and Anya. Sorry, it's an A, isn't it? It's an A Williams. So well played, you. Thank you very much for taking part. As I say, if you fancy quizzing regularly, do come and join us on a Sunday night, 8:15. You can, of course, subscribe with the subscribe button on the screen to my YouTube channel, which is Pewey1957. Just hit the subscribe button, and all you'll do is just get notifications of when the next quizzes are, which is great. Anyway, I will let the Rugby Borough Football Club sort out the prizes for me in the morning, and if you'd like to send me your details, we'll get them off to you or get you sorted. So thank you very much, everybody. Good night, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. So good night.